So update, today is Thursday, May 20. So this is day 4 of surgery rotation at Maypen, and I am tired is an understatement because I never make for this. I had high hopes that I was going to record Tuesday evening and Wednesday evening, but that never happened. I came home and it's a mixture of tired, lazy, went to bed because it's absolutely journey. I'm gonna just give you guys a brief synopsis of the topics that we covered on Tuesday, what we covered on Wednesday, and what we covered today, which is Thursday. So on Tuesday, questions that the consultant asked, as well as other stuff that we encountered, is the hard and soft signs of bleeding, the 6 W's of post-op fever and their management. We needed to know clean and dirty wound classification. We saw a patient with bilateral renal nephrosis plus low-lying kidney. We also saw, I think it was the same patient with bladder outlet obstruction. We saw a hernia, and it was an inguinal hernia. I needed to know everything about hernia, so whether it's reducible, not reducible, superficial ring, deep ring, all of them something about hernia. We had to read about a pseudoaneurysm. You need to know the signs of stroke. There's a patient with a brachial plexus injury. He was climbing a fence and got steel into his arm here, so we were requiring brachial plexus injury. We also need to know about a thyroglossal duct cyst, which is what it was about on Tuesday when the patient came in, who had this surgery on Thursday, which is today. So we needed to know the surgery and treatment for that. On Tuesday, actually, I saw removal and insertion of a male urinary catheter, and tomorrow, which is Friday, we're gonna have a UCAF clinic where basically that's all you do for the whole day, remove and insert. So I'll tell you guys more about that when I get home. And because we learned the male, we're also supposed to learn the female, but we're currently on male surgical, so when I get over there, then I'll tell you more about that. So that kind of sums up Tuesday. So the highlight of Tuesday though was the UCAF. I had no idea that because the tube is pretty big, and I had no idea it could, you know. What I have something to do tomorrow. I'm kind of nervous, but that's basically what we did on Tuesday. So Wednesday, this is from ward rounds. So Wednesday was kind of funny because there were a lot of people on ward rounds. So I do medicine at UWI, but there are other medical schools in Jamaica. There's this one called Ames and another one, I don't remember the name, but they have students at Maypen Hospital that I didn't know were there. So on ward rounds, a lot of students turned up, so there were a good amount of persons on the ward trying to assess patients, trying to do all kind of stuff, so it was kind of a lot. So we actually my group went over to, some of my group went over to female surgical, so we were bouncing in between male and female surgical. So the topics for this day might be a little bit blurry, like I might not have gotten everything, but I got like 9 topics, so that should be good to give you an idea of what you'll see on the ward. So we encountered some fluid management questions, daily sodium and potassium requirements, that kind of stuff, and I don't remember what these were. I think cerebral pontine mile something. I'll put the right word here whenever I figure it out. And cerebral edema, I think these were effects of
hydrating a patient too quickly. I don't know, I'll do an edit here to tell you what it actually is.
So it's actually central pontine myelinosis, and it happens when you increase the sodium concentration too quickly following a sodium deficiency. So yeah. We had to read up about neoadjuvant chemo. We also wanted to know the investigations of upper versus lower GI bleed, such as colonoscopy, barium enema, those kind of stuff. We also were told to read up about diverticulosis, angiodysplasia, blood grouping and transfusions, diabetic foot, stuff like crepitus, and why is it that diabetic patients with diabetic foot get a polymicrobial infection, and the approach that you take in treating that. So you have to go over your antibiotics and your antifungal in that case. Intestinal obstruction. We had a lecture in the afternoon on intestinal obstruction, and also we had to go home and read about anal abscesses and ischiorectal masses. So that's everything that we would have encountered on Wednesday. Also on Wednesday, we went to view a CT scan, which is one thing off my procedure card, because the procedure card, as I'll show you in another video, what exactly is on the procedure card and what you're expected to do. So we got one thing ticked off. And on Wednesday, yeah, we saw a CT scan. So seeing the CT wasn't all that exciting. He literally put the patient in the machine and he went around to the radiologist's desk, and he just looked to see, you could see like live action of what was going on. And then after that, yeah, it wasn't really that exciting. She just went through, and she also showed us pictures of other cases of how to identify blood and so on, but none too serious. Okay, so today now, so let's jump to Thursday. Today was an OT day, so we didn't go on the ward at all. We went straight to the operating theater and the surgeon's lounge. So it's this nice little place where there's like a bed and like a microwave and changing rooms and bathrooms and stuff. So this is what I wore to school today, and I just changed out of this into scrubs, and you basically stayed in scrubs for the entire day. I got to see 2 procedures. The first one was the removal of a thyroglossal duct cyst, and I'll put the actual name of the procedure here. I think it's a cyst trunk procedure. I don't want to tell you that, but it's called that surgery is about an hour ish. Eventful thing is that the cyst actually popped and squirted out purulent material onto the surgeon. But it was okay. He was wearing his protective stuff, so I guess that's why you wear all these fancy stuff in surgery. But that was really exciting. Everything just looked right. I couldn't tell what was what, but it was really interesting to see how the dynamic of the team was. But I didn't get to scrub in today, but my other classmate Natasha got to scrub in on a inguinal hernia repair. Yeah, and I also saw the closing up of that surgery. So we got to see what kind of instruments they used, as well as the type of sutures that they did. I mean, they couldn't really see, but you saw enough. So that's what happened today, and I am absolutely tired. So it's been 4 days of surgery at Maypen. I'm realizing more and more they need to be comfortable. Don't wear a lot of clothes because it's very hot. Unless you're going into the OT, it's very hot. And if you're going into the operating theater, it's very cold. So if you wear your scrubs, you can wear like a long sleeve undershirt because it's gonna be cold. And wear socks with your Crocs because your feet will get cold too. And OT days, you don't really get to eat because you can't really go outside once you put on your OT clothes. So it's recommended to bring like liquid food like Sopigen or like a Ensure or something. Just bring something that you can have really quickly, or something that you can heat up in the microwave that you can have in the surgeon lounge. So on OT days, bring food. Just bring food every day. That will solve the problem. What else? So that's the end of my first week in surgery. I really hope you enjoyed watching as much as I loved sharing. So make sure to subscribe so you can see what happens next week, and the week after that, and the week after that one, and the week after that week. All right, bye.